everyone,
Hello!
and welcome to Kirsty and Bryony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Bryony, and we are here to listen to each other's dreams and work out what the heck is going on.
What the heck?
We're here to save the world and fix our brains. And we've saved the world. We're all at a world to save. Now it's just us.
The hardest part.
Yeah. The real stumbling block.
Mm-hmm.
I have been having lots of dreams recently, but the problem is, it's been, okay, I have a new naughty little habit.
Oh boy.
that I've been doing.
Okay.
So, in what is actually my bedroom, we only have the tiny little top of the window, flippity flap windows they don't really let in any cool air. It's been very warm in the UK, and they don't really let in any cool air. What they do let in is a shite ton of noise.
Oh.
And probably bugs. So all it is that the room is still stuffy, but you can hear the road really noisily and it keeps you awake. So
How relaxing.
we've been sleeping in the back bedroom, which is a teeny tiny room, but it has a bed in it and the window opens all the way. Big window. All the window opens. Nice cool air, no road outside. Beautiful. Good sleep.
Good
And but because it's also the room that has Alex's cross trainer that he exercises on in the morning, I get kicked out of the room at like 7:30 or something. So what my sleepy brain then does is goes into our room and crawls into bed, because the bed is freezing cold in the morning, and it's like the cool side of the pillow, but it's the entire bed.
Oh my god.
So I just get in and I scrumple myself into a tiny little ball underneath all the duvet, and I go back to sleep. But the problem is I leave all of my dreams behind on the spare room pillow.
Oh, go and pick
then
them up.
I need to record them before I get up. Just be like, hang on, Alex, 2 seconds. I must record
To record my dream.
You can exercise soon. I must do this for science. But I do remember, I recorded one, and I do remember another that I had the other day, which I'll say quickly because I'm scared it'll leave my brain.
Okay,
but
do it.
It was that we were doing IRL TTT. So we were playing TTT, but it was actually us all running around playing it, which would actually be quite terrifying when you think about it. But I guess it was like a silly, goofy version where we weren't actually shooting each other.
Just like laser tag.
But, and this is why I remembered it, at a certain point of the dream, Trot came over to me and I was like, do you want a hug? And he was like, yeah. And I gave him a hug. And then I was like, okay, that was a good time for a hug. Now I'll start pulling away. And he was like, no. He just continued the hug. And then again, I was like, okay, buddy, okay. I just go big hug, big squeeze, pat on the back. Okay, I'm pulling away now. And then he was like,
No.
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 So I was just stood in the middle of this TTT map, just squeezing Trot, looking around, just watching everyone else running around playing the game. And I was just like, okay.
New role, the hugger.
Yeah. You just have to hug for as long as possible. And the only reason I remembered is because I saw Trot yesterday. We went to a market together and I'd completely forgotten the dream. And then I got into his car and I just suddenly was like, you were in my dream last night. You wouldn't stop hugging. And he was like, okay.
Okay.
It just all came like flooding back to me. He just triggered it. And I was like, I remember. The man from the dream.
The man from the dream. My dreams have been very surface level lately, and I'm not remembering any of them. I don't think the heat is helping.
Yeah.
Because I'm waking up a lot, like really early, like just so dehydrated. I'm like, I need to get water.
Yeah.
And then they all just tumble out of my mind. I don't remember the actual dream, but I do know that I had a dream where I was in the sewers and Xylus was there. And he had set some sort of task, like a game show task, to go and I don't know, it was like write a poem or find something to like make up with a partner that I was with that I'd argued with or something like that. It was really bizarre. It was like...
it Krobus?
Maybe. Oh my God, I hope so. But Xylus had like a board with like all lights around the edge and coloured lettering on it, and it was like a little game show in the sewers. Like, thanks, Xylus. But I don't actually remember the context at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, like beyond that, I've not really. I actually feel like most of my dreams, in quotation marks, lately have been me just like daydreaming. Like when I go to sleep, I think about like, you know, what's happened in Pathfinder. Like, for instance, I had Pathfinder last night. So when I went to bed, I was like just mulling over that. And then because I've just been having such light sleep, my dreams have just been weird corruptions of those thoughts where like nothing particularly notable is happening, but it's just like I'll be thinking about that, but then ADHD kicks in, and then I'm thinking about what I had for dinner, and then I'm thinking about what we said on Discord that night, and then so it's like they're not dreams, they're just weird thoughts that won't stay in one place. So I can't record any of them.
Oh, you just reminded me, I had such I don't even know if it counts as ADHD, but I had a moment the other day where basically I went to this like witchy fair. Like it was like a witchcraft and occult market. And it had like all different like artists and like candles and brooms and ritual stuff, and it was like really cool. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of taxidermy there as well, which spooked me a bit, but it was like, yeah, a lot of like really cool stuff. And there was this artist there called Bumblepunk who does woodcuts, and I got some of his artwork, and I basically got like a triptych of 3 different designs that you could get separately, but I'm over explaining this. I got 3 pieces of artwork from this guy, and then I was looking at the numbers as I walked away after paying, and it was like 2 of them were, because it's limited prints, 2 of them were 10 out of 10, 1 of them was 2 out of 10. So I was like, okay, I don't mind, and then I walked a bit further and I was like, I mind. And I had to turn around and be like, I don't suppose you have the 10 out of 10 of this print, just because then I sort of know that they're like friends. And he was like, okay, I'll look in the box and see. He was like, I get you, don't worry. So he was looking through the box and he was like, oh, I'm really sorry, I've only got 8 out of 10 for that one. I must have sold 10 out of 10. And I was like, okay, I think that's okay. 8 is my lucky number. The numbers are a bit closer together, so maybe they're more likely to get along and all of this stuff. And then I walked away, and then as soon as I walked away, I was like, 2 out of 10 now thinks that they're not good enough, and I've really like knocked their their self-esteem. And like literally the first thing I thought when I woke up this morning was, I hope they're okay. this inanimate artwork print. I was like, I hope they, and then I was like, maybe they were meant to be bought by someone else, and maybe they found their proper home now and they're doing okay. And I was just like,
they're doing fine.
I was like, why must Rythian tells me off for this all the time. I'm like, why must you anthropomorphize everything? And I was just like, oh.
You know what you should have done, and this is going to bug you now, you should have swapped the 2 for an 8 and seen if he had the 9 in any of the others.
Oh, done like a rummy / poker question mark. I don't know how you play poker.
Numbers.
Sequence. Yeah, it's just, it's like, did I tell you the thing about, apparently, I mean, you'd know more about this than I do, but apparently there's a thing when you go for like an ADHD test where one of the questions is, what do 2 and 7 have in common? And
what? I never had that.
What's
the answer?
Well, apparently if you're just like neurotypical, you'll be like, well, they're numbers. So whereas if you're neurospicy,
hang on, don't tell me. So the numbers 2 and 7.
Yeah.
I can't think of an answer that. Am I neurotypical?
No, because if you're neurotypical, the answer is as basic as, well, of course they are numbers. That's what they've got in common. Whereas if you're neurospicy, you start going, oh, similar shapes, or maybe they are like the same color, or maybe it's the way that you would place them in it. Or like you start overthinking it. Whereas otherwise you're just like, well, of course they're numbers. That's what they've got in common.
And you just don't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Right, I see. That feels like a bit too loose of a way to diagnose someone. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to write a letter.
I'm assuming there's like other questions that they ask as well, but I don't know.
Yeah, I never had that question.
I assume, I mean, I've obviously never had one, but I assume that they see if you show up on time and then how much you go into explaining why you were late. And then they're like, yep.
You're in.
You spent the first 10 minutes apologizing, so well done.
I showed up very early. Well, for my first one, the person didn't actually show up. Because they booked it on like a bank holiday weekend. It was on a Sunday. And I was like, this feels weird, but oh no, I'll turn up anyway. So I did, and they didn't. So I waited for an hour on my own.
Oh my God.
And then I messaged and like, nobody turned up. Are we going to reschedule?
Oh.
Maybe that was a test.
Reminds me, there was a time when I needed like an emergency repeat prescription, and I went into the doctor's office and I was like, can I get this? And they were like, yeah. And then I just sat down and I waited for an hour, like sat opposite the reception desk. They let me just sit there for an hour. And then eventually I went over and I was like, is it coming? And they were like, oh, it won't be today. I was like, why did you not mention that when when I first sat down? Like, what did you think I was waiting for?
Oh my God.
I was just like, okay. And then at that point, they felt so bad that they did do it on that day. And I was like, well, you could have just done it then, couldn't you?
It was all worth it in the end, really.
Yeah.
Doctors are bloody terrible for that. My doctor is really, really awful. You used to be able to ring up and ask for a repeat, and now you're not allowed to ring up. I don't even know if you're allowed to email anymore. At some point you could, but for the most part, they want you to go in and request a repeat. But then you have to wait 4 days. So you go in and you're like, hello, I'd like a repeat prescription. And they're like, okay. And then you leave. And then you come back 4 days later. And it's like, this could have been an email. This could have been a telephone call. But no, they don't allow that. And it's just like, why? Why all these needless, stupid rules that make it hard for people, especially people who can't get out of the house, you know? It's just so dumb.
It's like, I mean, I feel like this is one of the first things that I have become back in my day. But it really is like when I was a child, I remember you used to phone up the doctors on the day and get an appointment. It would be like, you would call up first thing, you'd get a cancellation or whatever, and you'd be there the same day. Whereas nowadays, it's like, please fill out the triage form within these hours. And if you don't fill it in
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like if you don't fill it in time, then the slots have filled up and you can't blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I had to call up for a particular problem. And they didn't get back to me until like a month later.
That's insane.
But then when the doctor finally did call, he was talking as if I'd only put the thing in like 2 days before. And I was like, no, this was a month ago. I'd obviously just fallen through some cracks and then reappeared.
Yeah.
On the system. And I was just like, nope. It was like, oh, so it's been going on for 2 days? I was like, nope.
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's insane.
Yeah.
I think with my doctor, you can get an appointment quite quickly, but that's because it's a small village doctor. But if you live in a town or a city, you are pretty fucked. Like the reason I've not moved, like since moving out of my parents' place, I haven't moved doctor surgeries because now I live in a town as opposed to a village. It would just be so much more difficult to get an appointment in a doctor's surgery here. So yeah, I just drive 20 minutes to my doctor's surgery if I ever need to go, which is why it was such a pain in the ass when they wouldn't accept phone calls for re-prescriptions.
Yeah.
But yeah, doctors, they're a pain in the bum.
Well, it's one of those things that it's the Tories' fault. just gonna say it. Just put it out there. Just vote them out. Yep. Okay. Nice.
Yep. Cool.
So, yeah, I do feel so sorry for NHS works so hard.
Yeah.
And for such little thanks and
They're just stretched so thin.
reward. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I could ramble about this for ages. Would you like to hear my dream instead?
Yeah, go on then. Let's have a
Okay.
listen.
So this one, I've done a cheeky. I've labelled this as the 11th of May, but that's when I had the dream, but I only recorded this today because it suddenly came back to me.
Oh.
But I did record it in the morning, so I do probably sound quite
you
sleepy
shouldn't
anyway.
have told us, you know.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
You could have just gotten away with it.
I can't help it. But here it is. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. I had a dream that the bunnies were out in the garden, but our garden was huge and it was like grassy and green and had this massive tree. And all of a sudden this fox ran towards me and it was all like mangy and I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to go for the bunnies. But the bunnies just went in like completely unperturbed. They just sort of went by and went in. And the fox was just being like really affectionate. It just wanted cuddles. And I was giving it like little smushes. And I was looking at it and it was like all its skin was all scabby and stuff. And I was thinking, I have to help this fox. Like, look at this poor wee thing. Like, it was bleeding from one of the scabs on its side and stuff. And I remember thinking like, oh, I should call Secret World and get them to come and look after this fox. But I was also thinking like, should I look after them whilst they're here? Should I like give them a nice oat bath or something? I don't know. I'll happily look after this fox. But yeah, that's all I remember. The end. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it's just I remember there being like 2 other dreams that I had on that night, but this is the one that stuck with me.
Yeah. Aww, a little baby.
Gabby little fox.
Oh. And you had this on the 11th. What are we on now? The 13th?
Yeah, a couple nights ago. It's just okay. I still just find myself thinking about that little guy.
He's a little guy. Aww. Did you see? There was a video probably on TikTok, but on Instagram as well, of like a dog. And in the video, the lady calls out to just a random lady sitting on a bench. And she's like, is this your dog? And she's like, no. And she said, oh, I think I've rescued his siblings. And then the dog just runs over like, hello. And the dog's just like, please pet me. And it reminded me of that. I wondered if, because often we get sent the same things on Instagram Reels. So I wondered if you'd seen that. But yeah, it sounds like what the fox did was just exactly what this little doggy did.
Oh, I did see a video recently where this woman was walking around. I don't know where it was. I think it looked like Norway, like the top of Norway. But she was just walking around and then, you get those like wolf dogs?
Yeah.
One of those just sort of appeared and she was just like, hello. And then they came over and they were like, cuddles, please. And she was like, oh, okay, phew.
Oh my God.
But when the dog first appeared, it was like really wolfy. It's just like,
I'm in danger.
But I guess a lot of the comments were like, all of these, like, this has made me realize that some people don't realize how big wolves are. And I'm like, well, yeah, but why would you? Like, we've not.
Yeah, like, I've never
I
seen
don't
a
know
wolf.
the context
I don't
of a
intend
wolf. Yeah. I've never seen a wolf next to a banana. Like, how would I know how big a wolf
Exactly.
is?
Exactly.
I looked up, out of curiosity, I looked up fox in the book. And it says, a fox in a dream tells of hypocrisy, cunning, and slyness. But that's not what I would associate a fox with.
Yeah, hypocrisy's weird. But yeah, sly foxes are like a thing, aren't they?
Or like cunning like a fox.
Yeah. I feel like maybe it's for people who have worked more closely with animals, but I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't represent animals to their weird stereotypes like that in a dream day to day. You know, I would just be like, oh, it's a fox, cute. I want to pet it, much like you.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
I guess, like, I think the reason that this dream stuck with me is because I associate foxes with myself because, like, it's just like it's gone on a while. Like, my wedding cake, the cake topper was like a little fox in a bride's dress sort of thing, because I was like, the fox is me, and Alex had a little moose.
Cute.
So I've always had that sort of like, yeah, like association with, like, if Alex and I are out and we see a fox, I'll be like, it me sort of thing.
Aww.
So part of me, when I had this dream, I think I woke up wondering, like, do I need to take care of an aspect of myself?
Self-care. That's what it is.
Is there something that I've been, like, neglecting, and this is my brain going, like, look after yourself?
I feel like there always is. You work too hard.
Well, the thing that's been on my mind at the moment is, so because it's been sunny, I've talked to you about this a little bit, but, like, I've just been, like, super self-conscious of myself for pretty much as long as I remember, like, since teenage awkward years, never really like ever got very comfortable in my own skin. And that means that in summer I wear jeans and I suffer. And this year, like every year, I'm like, this is the year I'm going to start wearing summery stuff, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be like I'm going to be summer ready. And then I, like, get too shy and I don't do it. And then all of a sudden it's autumn again. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. But this year I was like, no, it's gone too far. I'm actually going to do it this year. And I had, like, a plan where I was like, I'm going to just put on summery stuff and I'm going to go out for a little walk every day and just get used to being outside and having, like, you know, it's mostly, like, I was going to say legs and arms, but that's literally most of your body. But like, that's what I'm most self-conscious of, like, showing. And so yesterday I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I put on, like, this summery dress. It's like a mid-length dress, so, like, mid-thighs. And I walked out. I'm feeding Lydia's cats while she's away at the moment. So I walked out to Lydia's house and walked back, and I was like, I've done it.
Hell yeah.
Like, I've been summery. And then I woke up this morning and it's so grey and, like, it's going to rain. I was like, oh.
So you did it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I completed summer. But part of me wonders if it's like, because I'm stuck in that spiral of, like, the skin on my legs isn't great because it never gets the sun, but then I'm too scared to show it, so then it never gets the sun, so it gets worse, so it never gets the sun, and it's just like this ongoing thing. And I wonder if that's what the fox was representing, if it's, like, because of it being all like mangy.
Yeah, honestly, probably.
I'm not covered in mange. I'll say that.
Brody is mangy.
I'm just a mangy little guy. So I wonder if it was that, if it was just like, this is part of me I want to take care of. I want to get them glossy and lovely and healthy.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. If you've been worrying about, like, being self-conscious and stuff, then that sounds pretty relevant to me.
Yeah.
But no, I hope it gets sunny again soon. Like, I get it. Like, the sun is really good at encouraging you to go outside and do stuff like that, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the last few days that it has been sunny, yeah, I've done it too. Like, I went on a couple of, like, really nice walks. I was wearing shorts, which I never do. And I even went into the shop wearing, like, a summery outfit, and I was just like, oh my God, I would never do this. And now it's grey again. I'm just like, nah.
Back into the Oodie.
Yep, Oodie back. Yeah, no. So yeah, I totally get it.
I think it's just one of those things that, like, I was at a brewery the other day. I hate saying that word. Brewery. And I was just, like, people watching. And there was, like, people of all shapes and sizes wearing all different things. And the only thing that crossed my mind was, like, they look nice. They look comfortable. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that top. Whereas, like, if it's me, I'm like, oh my God, people are going to be crashing their cars because they've thrown up on that windscreen because I walked
same.
by. It's going to be like, read all about it. 10-car pile up because a woman showed ankle. It's so silly. But it all comes down to that. I was saying this earlier. It all comes down to that thing of like, those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Like, if someone's going to look at you and be like, ugh, then screw 'em, throw them in the river.
Yep. Throw them straight in that river.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you're heckin' beautiful. You can show your leg to me any day.
Just one
Your
though.
mangy leg.
My mangy legs. I was saying, like, I'm going on holiday in a couple weeks, and I think that is always like a good opportunity to like wear stuff because you're never going to see the people that you see ever again, and you can like wear things, and then hopefully when I get back I'll still be in holiday mode and it won't feel as weird to wear stuff. And yeah, it's tough though.
It is tough. I want to go on holiday.
You're coming to Bristol. Exotic holiday.
I just want to go swimming. I was talking to Rithian about this morning. I just want to go swimming.
I bloody love swimming. It's just so frustrating that like there's not really that many swimming pools in Bristol, and the ones that there are really difficult to get to for us. So it's just like, meh.
You should come here.
Is Aquasplash still a thing, or did that close?
I don't know if Aquasplash is still a thing, but Hitchin has the big outdoor pool.
Oh.
Hitchin's outdoor pool is very nice.
Is the Snow Dome still a thing in Milton Keynes?
Oh God, I have no idea.
I remember
never
going to
been.
the because it's got like an indoor snowy ski slope in Milton Keynes, and I went there for a gig. There was this thing. It was put on by Zane Lowe, and it was called like Gonzo on Snow. I went to see various bands like Million Dead and like probably a lot of bands that aren't together anymore. And you'd be all like bundled up, and then you'd go out into the car park, and everyone would just be wearing like shorts and vests, and you're there with like a big snow jacket and stuff, just like, oh, hello.
So apparently Aquasplash has been closed for nearly 10 years.
What?
Which is wild to me.
Oh my gosh. I guess because I've lived in Bristol for 10 years now.
Well,
so I'm just
any
like...
excuse.
What about the, what was it called? The blooming, the place with the sudden death drop rainbow slide. Is that still open?
Was that in Hemel?
I think so.
Because there was one in Stevenage. Sorry, everyone. Hearts Gang. I don't know. I think the one that we went to as kids is closed. But
I want to go to an adult soft play.
Soft play. Me too. I want to go to a ball pit.
I feel like we've talked about this before. Oh my gosh, I saw this video the other day about how they clean the balls from ball pits.
Oh my God, they clean them?
It was amazing. It was just like, here's the ball sucker. The ball sucker sucks the balls and it sucks them up into this. And once the balls are clean, it spits them. Yeah. This is Pete. But it was amazing. It was basically like this big, like, Nunu looking thing. And it sucks the balls, and then they all get like whooshed around, and then they go out through this thing, and like you could see the empty ball pit. It was great.
That's cool.
I do think they were maybe wording it for titillation, not for titillation, for the lols. It's like that thing recently that's going around Instagram reels about Cork. Where people are like, it's like American people. Okay, for people who don't know what I'm talking about, it's the filler. You get the big tubes of filler and you put them like along the ridges of your sink and stuff.
Yeah.
So to stop.
Okay.
Yeah, cork. But in American accents, they'd be like, which cock should I use to fill my hole? I think this cock is going to be great. I'm just like, but it's just, oh my gosh. It's like there was a guy recently who was just like, he was like talking over a video of this guy doing DIY. And he was like, wow, he's really handling that cock well. He's holding it so steady. This stuff, I was just like, please.
No.
So that's where my algorithm is at the moment.
God, it's better than my algorithm. I was moaning about you. No, I was moaning about this to you the other day. Mine's just Pilates, parenting, and weight loss, I think. And it's like, I don't care about any of this. I want to see food, video games, and cats.
So mine is mostly, there's a lot of animals. Pickles, because I send you so many pickle videos. It suggests me pickles all the time. And cork.
See what the first video I get is. Hang on.
But if I select the like search option, it's pretty much animals and Astarian. Is all it suggests to me now.
Let me check my search option then. Hang on. All right, I've got Stardew Valley. I've got Pokemon. I've got the rapping Vietnamese lady who did the counting. Astarian. Someone getting their mustache trimmed.
Oh.
And some cast iron pots. That's it.
Mine is, what if Studio Ghibli made Lord of the Rings? And then it's Astarian cats, Astarian dog, newborn, Oreo the dog, Astarian bunny, Stardew cat. And something that I want to say is maybe Game of Thrones, but I don't recognize it.
I've got lots of slime too. Andrew's slime Instagram.
Slime Instagram.
It's very crunchy and slimy.
I need to start just going through and clicking on the animal things to try and like tell it what I want.
I don't think it even cares though. It's like if it shows me like, here's my toddler and here's what I'm feeding them today, I'm just like not interested. And I click it and I'm not interested. And it still keeps giving me like parenting stuff. And I'm just like, this algorithm's not working.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I saw a thing the other day. So have you heard the TikTok song that's going around that's like, what is it? It's like, I want to date a man in finance. 6'5", trust fund, blue eyes. And then people have like remixed it. But then people have done their own versions. And there was a woman who did one that was like, I want to date a man who's, it was like a half moth, 6'9" moth wings. Or basically it was about Mothman. And someone had commented saying, I have never told anyone about my crush on Mothman. How did TikTok know to bring me here? I was like, I guess it just knows. Knows something.
I keep getting
that you don't
Mothman
know.
stuff too, to be fair. There's someone who makes rugs. I think they sell them. And somebody commented on one of their posts and said, women don't like Mothman. Who told you that? And he's just posted and said, no, you're right. Women don't love Mothman. Women crave Mothman.
I get suggested so much Mothman stuff. And truth be told, I don't really know I don't know who Mothman is. I've seen Mothman prophecies, but I don't know if that's anything to do with Mothman. I don't really remember what happened in Mothman prophecies. Was that Mothman?
I have no idea. I've never heard of Mothman prophecies.
It was just, all I remember about it is that I went to see it in Durham in a spooky church, and it happened to be thunder and lightning that night. And I just kept on thinking, this is a really cool setting to watch something scary, but also I'm very scared. So I don't really remember what actually happened in the film, but it was scary. But yeah, I don't really know who Mothman is, but I I
Just a
don't know.
cryptid. Just a guy.
Just a little guy.
A little guy.
Maybe, I mean, this is a slippery slope. What if I look him up and then I
Fall
start?
in love.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mothman.
Mothman.
Mothman, in West Virginian folklore, is a humanoid creature reportedly seen in Point Pleasure from November 15th, 1966 to December 15th, 1967.
Oh.
The first newspaper report was published in the Point Pleasure Register, dated November 16th, 1966, titled, Couples See Man-Sized Bird, Creature, Something. Oh.
Couple see something. Is the essence of that. I think.
It does say the creature was introduced to a wider audience by Gray Barker in 1970 and was later popularized by John Keel in his 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies. It must have had Mothman in there. I just don't remember. Maybe I was so smitten that I just completely blanked it out.
Easily done. Easily done.
It awoke something in me too powerful. I had to shut it down. There you go.
Oh my god.
Mothman.
Mothman.
I think I really like moths, but in a way that I don't like them being near me.
It's like, I mean, it's like bats. I love bats, and bees and flies. You don't want them flying near your face, I think.
Yeah.
It's the thing. Like, because they just love doing that. They really love flying into people's faces. But if they don't do that, they're fine.
Yeah.
I rescued a moth yesterday. I had one of those, the little green ones, or the kind of big green ones.
Yes.
They're like a yellowy green colour, like a sprite moth. Yeah, the one flew in, so I rescued it, and I threw it out the balcony door, and then it flew straight back in. And I was like, no. I grabbed him again, and put him outside, and then he just sat on my window like, please let me in. I'm like, no, there's a cat in here that likes to eat moths. Please do not come in here.
Oh, no. I just realised how frustrating it must be for someone listening to what we've just been talking about and have me going, is the Mothman Prophecies about Mothman? Someone must be listening to that and being like, what the heck else would it be about? Like, what do you think it is?
About a man who liked moths. It might not necessarily about Mothman.
He just liked to predict when moths would arrive.
Exactly.
He's like, oh, Tuesday. You've done it again, Mothman.
There's a moth on the horizon. Good job, Mothman.
I really I've forgotten the name of them, but you know the rhubarb and custard moths? The ones that are like pink and yellow and they're super fluffy. Rosy maple moths.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not rhubarb and custard. But they're so pretty. I thought I saw a hummingbird, but I think it was actually a moth. But then it was in the daytime. So do you see moths in the day?
Don't know. I think so. There is I'm literally just looking at some moths now on wildlifetrust.org. There's a moth literally called the hummingbird hawk moth, and he's got a little wiggly nose.
Yeah, I think it was those that I was seeing. Cute. And I was like, because I got so excited thinking like, oh, I'm seeing a hummingbird. But then I was like, do you get hummingbirds in the UK?
Do we not get hummingbirds?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, we don't. Huh.
But I was just so excited to see one. And then I was like, hang on a minute, there's something weird about this bird.
Yeah, we don't get them. So I'd never even thought about it, like that we don't have hummingbirds.
What is this? Is it a moth or is it a bird?
What,
or is
the
it a
hummingbird
hawk?
hawk moth?
How can it be? Oh, it's just such a weird looking guy.
He's cute. He got a big eye and a big old nose.
A big
and look at, I don't know if you're looking at the same picture as me on Wildlife Trust, but he's got little arms. They're hanging down. Look at those little arms. Oh my god.
Ready for hugs.
What a sweet baby.
Yeah, I remember seeing those and being like, wow.
Yeah, it is a moth. It has a caterpillar.
Aww.
Cute.
I wonder what Mothman, is he naughty? Is he meant to kill people?
No, he just wants lamp.
He just wants lamp.
He just craves the lamp.
Aww.
Mothman has those classic like moth fronds on his head.
Oh.
I don't know what they're called. But like, you know, the moths that have just like the lovely little leaf shape on the top of their head.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
I feel like I see a lot of Mothman stuff, just like pin badges, and I saw a really nice hair clip that was Mothman the other day. Maybe I could get into Mothman. Maybe this is my Mothman era.
Honestly, cryptids are fun as heck. Cryptids are so cool.
I don't really know much about cryptids.
You have to hit up Nilesy. Nilesy's good with cryptid lore. You've heard of the Fresno Nightcrawler, right? Or Night Stalker. One of the two.
I don't think I have.
You haven't? Oh my god. Okay, so Fresno Nightcrawler is just a guy.
Looks like cat pants.
Guy, exactly. That's why when we were looking for a TTT skin for Nilesy, I was like, Nilesy, this is the one. It's the Fresno Nightcrawler, but it's a cat. So for anyone who doesn't know, the Fresno Nightcrawler is a cryptid that is just basically a pair of legs. And they just wander around. They're little leggy guys. They just sort of walk around and they're great.
One of the haunted places we were looking at staying in was haunted by a pair of legs.
True. Maybe it was a Fresno Nightcrawler.
Yeah, on holiday. If you were like taking a walk in the woods at night or something and you saw something that was like, I don't know, some sort, like it wasn't aggressive towards you, it was just a weird little guy, you know, that wasn't anything you ever knew what it was, would you tell people or would you want them to leave them alone? Would you just keep it to yourself?
I would tell like my friends, I think. I'd just be like, oh, this weird thing happened. But I wouldn't like go to a news outlet or anything.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this was weird. Met this weird guy. Looked like a pair of legs.
I got really excited the other day because a deep sea diver found is it a coelacanth?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They found like, it was on my newsfeed, was like, deep sea diver finds a living fossil. And then they were like, of course they're not actually a living fossil. They've just been very slowly evolving for many a moon. But yeah, they were all like, they took a photo of them. They were saying that they've probably just been here all this time. It's just that they're too deep.
Probably, yeah. They should have nabbed it. That's 15,000 bells right there.
I was just thinking that. I was like, the only reason I know about this is from Animal Crossing.
It must have been raining.
But I think I don't know much about this, so don't take anything I say seriously. But I think they were saying that they used to be more of like a shallower water fish, and now they've adapted to being deeper, and that's why people thought they weren't around anymore. Deep sea terrifies me, but in like a fascinating way.
Yeah, so the deep sea, it's scary, horrible.
I sort of like, I'm scared of it, but in a way that I love it and I root for it because there's something really nice about a place that humans can't mess with. So I'm just like, whatever's down there, I've got your back.
It just feels so alien is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's... If you had the opportunity to, like, James Cameron go down in a little sub where it's all pitch black and horrible, would you do that?
No, I hate submarines.
I don't think I would. I think I'd just die.
Well, do you remember that thing that happened was it last year with that submarine that exploded?
Yeah, I mean that was just poor workmanship on their crap submarine, I think, in the end.
Yeah.
And they're steering it with an Xbox controller.
I need a new Xbox controller. Xbox, if you're listening, please to give. Basically, I've played so much Hades that I have worn down the thumbsticks to the hard plastic underneath the rubber.
Oh no. I was going to say, I've got a few PS5 controllers, but I've also worn down the plastic on a couple of them. So.
I used to work with Xbox On, and they were getting so many fancy controllers. And I remember one time it was literally my job to just go through and get like beauty shots of all of them. And just for like filler for various things. And part of me was thinking like, would they really miss one or
miss
two?
This one.
But I never did. And now I'm sort of like, I wish I had have done crime 5 years ago. If only.
It's so nice, isn't it? Like some of the special controllers they do are just so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like I was sent a PS5 controller for the game Ultros, like the Metroidvania that came out recently. And it's so cool. It's like all green and purple, and it's got a faceplate, and the joysticks are like a clear plastic, and it's really nice. It's such a nice controller. I just like look at it. I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. I love it.
I'll just have to buy a new one. But I'm like sort of scared because this is how much of an incompetent gamer I am. The last time I went to buy a new controller, I just bought the wrong thing, and then I got back and it wouldn't work, and I was like, okay, I just returned it. And
what
now
did you
I'm scared.
buy?
I don't even remember. I was back home for a few days. I was like house sitting for my parents whilst they were on holiday or something. And I was like, oh, I can play some games whilst I'm back. So I bought one from like Argos, and then it didn't work. So I just took it back. But it's because it wasn't. I think it's because I play Xbox games, but on PC, and maybe it was one that would only work with the actual console or something. I don't know.
That doesn't sound right though. Like, because I used to, like, back when the 360 was a thing, you could obviously buy the wired controllers, and eventually they just sort of phased them out. And I would always buy wired Xbox controllers to use with my PC, and they always worked.
Yeah, I don't know why this one didn't. Maybe it's just a bodged controller.
Yeah,
or
maybe it was like
something,
a weird third-party one or something.
Oh, I think it might have been that. I think I just saw Xbox and was like, oh, it must be fine.
You got like a Mad Catz controller.
It was a beautiful purple, but sadly the colour did not help it to work. So I had to take it back.
Oh dear. I remember getting those controllers. I think the brand specifically was Mad Catz for the Nintendo ones. And it was like spelled with a Z. And they would always be really shit, and they would just break immediately. But the controllers looked cool.
Oh, I've never had my own controller, I don't think.
What?
I think like the one I'm using at the moment is like Alex's old one.
Oh my god, Mad Catz are still making controllers. Somebody stop them.
I guess when I was growing up, like all of my PlayStations were shared with my brother, and then I very briefly had my own Xbox that I got. My mom it was like the family Xbox, but it was decided that I could bring it to Bristol, and then I plugged it in, and then Alex got a new one and just unplugged my one, so it just lives under the bed now.
No, and, unplug the other one. Put yours back in.
So I can play Mini Ninjas and Geometry Wars.
Was it a 360? Or a regular one?
Yeah, 360.
You can play Doritos Crash Course.
But yeah, I should get a new one. Maybe I should do a cheeky. Do you reckon if I do a cheeky tweet, maybe Xbox Mr. Xbox will see and be like,
maybe
here,
we'll just isolate it from this episode and say and tweet it and be like, Bryony has never had an Xbox controller of her own. When she finally moved in with her husband, he unplugged the Xbox and shoved it under the bed.
Yeah. He bought a PS4 and plugged that in instead. Well, because we used to have, what was the one that you could say like Xbox on? What was the first one that did that?
Oh, I have no idea.
We had one of those.
I don't think it was the 360.
No, that was...
Or at least, it could have been, but I had the arcades, which is like the super shit one, so...
I want to say it was like the S or something like that. I've entirely lost track of how Xbox works.
Yeah, I don't understand. They lost me after the 360, to be honest.
PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It makes sense.
Easy.
Whereas like Xbox is like 360 SV 2.5, and you're like, what are you talking about?
Yep. Which one is this? I don't know.
Yeah.
If you do have a 360 under your bed, though, I have 360 games if you'd like some. Because my Xbox 360 doesn't work. The disc tray doesn't work. So
Well, the problem is that, like, I tend to just play them on the computer now with the Xbox thingy. It's just so much more convenient. I'm not really a console gamer anymore.
Console gamer. Yeah, I think I have like Dragon Age and stuff for my 360, and I just never played them.
I mostly just grew up with like PlayStation. Just played Spyro over and over again.
That is a banger.
I do bloody love it. I was talking about Spyro the other day and how in the first game, I know water wasn't like instant death, but it was pretty much death.
Yeah.
And then in the second game, when they're just like, "Now water's fine now." I just remember that first feeling of like seeing a gem in water,
under the water,
and being like, "You're trying to trick me." Like, I don't know how else to get. I just have to do it and look silly if it's. It was just like, haha.
The thing is, you haven't unlocked the ability to swim, so you just jump in and you just plunk, and then he does that lovely swim animation. You're like, oh, okay.
Water is okay now.
I guess I'm fine.
It's just so funny how like water in games, like I think with the first Red Dead, maybe that was pretty much like if you so much as put your little toesy in water, you just die, you just keel over. Arthur Morgan. No, he's the second one. I forgot the name of the first guy.
The other guy.
He's
I never played Red Dead 1.
Allergic to water.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Red Dead. It was one of those types of games.
It's like well, I mean, the old GTAs were like that as well, right? I think maybe.
Yeah.
I think so. But like the old Spider-Man games on PlayStation as well, or PS2, like the first one, you couldn't go like beyond a certain level. Like you couldn't go to street level. And if you went even close to street level, you'd just get respawned. But then they released Spider-Man 2 and you could finally go on the streets and it was like, wow, I can actually walk on the pavement. Oh my God.
I'd quite like to give the Spider-Man games a go.
Oh, this is like the original ones. But yeah, the new ones I've heard are very good. I tried to play the second one, but I think that type of game just doesn't... It doesn't really speak to me very much, so I tend to get bored of it really quickly.
Yeah, that's fair dude.
I did try, but I was going to say I could lend it to you, but you've probably got it.
Alex has the new Spider-Man. Yeah. Or the second to new one, maybe. Yeah. Or maybe he does have... I don't know. Are we meant to be talking about dreams?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
There are so many times when, like, we'll be chatting away. I'll suddenly look across and just be like, why do I have Audacity running? I'm like, oh yeah.
Where am I? I'm looking at pictures of moths. I found a beautiful one and now I want to make a Pathfinder character based on this moth.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if we could do like a full like insect bug campaign where I could be Wormona string.
So there is a worm witch.
Oh.
Well, I think it's a witch subclass, but you're called the worm caller, and you basically I think they're like dune worms, kind of maybe. They're like that kind of thing, like a sandworm, I believe.
Yeah.
And they've just announced a race, I think, that's like basically like Hollow Knight bugs.
Aww.
So you could have a little Hollow Knight campaign.
Cute. I haven't bought anything from it, but there's this shop that got recommended to me on Instagram, and they have like all of this worm on a string merch, and then they've also got, it's the same place that I saw the Mothman hair clip thing. And you know when you find a shop and you're just like, I just want everything from here, but I don't think I would have the confidence to wear it, but I want it. Oh, I can't think what it's called. Oh, Crescent Creepers is the name of the shop. But yeah, that's where I saw the little... They have like a possum hair clip that's really cute as well. Just looks like a little possum clinging onto your hair. But it's also good. There's so many creative people out in the world.
Oh my God, their clothes are nice.
Yeah.
They have dinosaur chicken nugget overalls.
They've got Mothman slippers as well.
The worm on a string hoodie.
It's also lovely. They have a worm on a string fanny pack as well.
my God.
Just a big worm.
Are they UK based? Yeah. I wonder if they would go to like Comic-Con or anything.
Oh. But yeah, that was what started my most recent thinking about Mothman. Was them.
Fair. I'm going to send these to Zoe. I think she'll appreciate. There we go.
Well, before we get too distracted.
Yeah, before we just start chatting about possums and stuff, we should leave.
Let everyone get on with their day without us chatting away.
Yeah.
But yeah, the message of this episode is YOLO. Go
Treat yourself.
out with your legs out. Dress cozy. Don't suffer in summer. Be yourself. You're beautiful. We love you. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, thanks for listening.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Listen to more podcasts. Oh, yeah.
But only this one.
Oh, yeah. Just more of the same episode over and over again. Dress good, as comfortable as you want, and then listen to Comfort Zone, and then you won't be thinking about other people, just listening to us. So it works.
I'm writing it down.
We could do like a mini episode of, what's it called? Affirmations. You know, like when you get American movies and
yes,
it'll always be someone who's having like a crisis, and then they're looking in the mirror and they're listening to something that's like, you're beautiful, you are powerful, you are a hot bitch. I don't know what else they say.
No, that'll be what we do. You're a hot bitch.
Look at you.
Your legs aren't mangy.
And if they are, they're the good kind of mangy. Oh, mange.
Just as a final note, this website also does blobfish slippers.
Yes.
And that's very important. I've already sent them to Melancholy.
Yes. Oh, all of their stuff is really good.
It's very cool.
If you buy something from there, tell them that we sent you, and maybe they'll be like, who? We could do a crossover where they do stuff with us on it, and it's like Crescent Creepers Comfort Zone, Creepers Zone, Comfort Creeps.
Creepy Comfort, Creepy Mothman Zone.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Kirsty, thank you for
we are rambling.
A lovely chat.
Thank you, Bryony, for a lovely chat, and thank you everyone for putting up with us for yet another week.
And our question for this week is, which cryptid would you hug?
That's a good one. I like that.
Also, did you have any dreams? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I think Mothman. I think he'd be nice and fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we should also say, as of the next episode to this one, Comfort Zone is moving to a new YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, it won't be here anymore, but it will be on YouTube. It'll be a different one. I'll do a separate post about this.
Yeah, we'll announce that separately because we're just uploading the backlog of old episodes before we do a proper launch. But bear that in mind for the coming weeks.
Yes, get ready to like and subscribe to a new
ding that bell
channel. Ding that smash button.
Yeah.
YouTube. Nice. YouTube. Well, until next time, everyone. Have lovely times.
Yes. And bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.